Hello friends, welcome to Betkraft, your home show bet football analysis and predictions. Okay, today is a very beautiful day, 17th day of May, and we have a whole lot of games that's happening across the globe. And amongst these games that we made our selections, selected a few and made our in-depth analysis on them and brought it forward for you. Okay, on Betcraft. All right. Also, we yesterday we had quite a very successful outing yesterday, saying that 7 out of 9 games that we predicted yesterday were actually very successful. And remember, I always advise that you pick up a few games from our predictions. You are no way advised to stick put all of them in one ticket. No, just make a few selections amongst those amongst the many that we predict. Okay, that being said, in a moment we'll be looking at today's games, but for those of us who are coming across our video for the very first time, please kindly take our time to subscribe so that you do not miss out on our subsequent games that will be coming up in this channel on a daily basis. All right, that being said, let's head to the business of the day. And today we are starting with the very first game, which happened to be in French League 2, where we have Auxerre coming up against Canal. Okay, and as usual, we'll take a look at how they fared from the recent encounters, as well as how they fared from home and away perspective. We'll see that the home side, in the past 6 games, they've been able to achieve 3 wins as well as 3 losses. On the away side, Canal have managed just 1 win in the past 6. They've also had 2 draws as well as 3 losses in the past 6 games they played so far. And looking at how they fared from home and away perspective, we could see that Auxerre in the past 10 home games have been able to achieve 7 victories. They've won on 7 occasions playing from home. They've actually had 3 draws as well in the past 10 home meetings. They've not lost any match playing from home. It goes to show that they're doing quite well, and seeing playing from home, seeing that they have won 70% of their home matches. So they're doing very well at the moment. And the away side, Concanao, in the past 10 away games have been able to achieve just 2 wins. They've also had 1 draw as well as 7 losses. They've lost 70% of their away games. So when you put all that together, you know that the home side is much more fancy to pick up the sports in this very encounter. Seeing also that the last time both teams met, which was in December last year, they actually I actually saw Auxerre winning from away by 2 goals to 1. So with all that said, we know that Auxerre is much more poised to take up the sports in this very encounter. It is the home side that's expected to win. Home win that's advantage in that very game. And that takes us to the very next game. And the next game that we have for you is in Slovakia second division, where we have Liptovsky Mikulas coming up against Spiska Noveves. Okay, and the home side in the past 6 games have been able to achieve 2 wins as well as 4 losses, and the away side also have seen 2 wins as well as 4 losses in the past 6 games. And when you take it down to how both sides fared from home and away perspective, you can also see that the home side in the past 10 home games have been able to achieve 5 victories. They've also had 1 draw as well as 4 losses in the past 10 home games they've had so far. And the away side, on the other hand, in the past 10 away games have managed just 1 win, but they've had 9 losses in their past 10 away games. It goes to show that they're not turning up, especially when they are playing from away. And when you put all that together, we know that Leptoski is actually favored to pick up the spoils, saying that the last time both teams met in November last year, Leptoski Mukilas actually won that very outing by 2 goals to 1. So we expect to see Leptoski Mukilas, the home side, picking up the sports in this very encounter. It is home win. That's our verdict for this very game, and that takes us to the very next game. And the next game is in Austrian League, Austrian Second Division, where we have Amsterdam coming up against Lefering. And Amsterdam, the home side, have been able to win 1 in the past 6. They've also had 1 draw as well as 4 losses in the past 6% games of head. And the away side, Lefering, Red Bull Lefering, have been able to achieve just 2 losses. I mean, they've been able to achieve 4 wins as well as 2 losses in the past 6 games. And when you take it down to how they fared from home and away perspective, you could see that the home side in the past 10 home games have been able to achieve 2 wins as well as 1 draw. But I've also lost 7 games in the past 10 home games I've had so far. It goes to show that I've lost 70% of their last 10 home matches, and their away side, Lefering, on the other hand, have been able to achieve 4 wins playing from away and they've also had 4 losses, as 3 losses actually, as well as 3 draws playing from away. You know, they are doing better when you compare the two. You know that Liffren is actually doing better, seeing that even when they are playing home, Liffren have actually won 90% of their home matches, losing just one. So we expect to see the away side, who is doing better at the moment, to actually rise to the occasion and lift it, pick the sports in this very game. It is away side to win. That's our verdict for this very encounter, and that takes us to the next game. And the next game is also in Austria second division, where we have Stripe Finn coming up against Grazer. Okay, Stripe in the home side in the past 6 games have been able to achieve just 2 wins. They've also had 1 draw as well as 3 losses, and the away side, Grazer, on the other hand, have been able to achieve 3 wins, 2 losses and 1 draw in the past 6 games they've had so far. And we may take it down to how both sides fared from home and away perspective. We could also see that the home side in the past 10 home games have been able to achieve just 2 wins. They've also had 2 draws, and they've had 6 losses playing from home. All right, and it goes to show they're not doing very well, especially playing from home. They've just won only 20% of their last 10 home games. So and the away side. And away side Grazer in the past 10 away games have won 8 games. They've had 1 draw, and they've had just 1 loss playing from away in the past 10 away games. It goes to show that they're doing so well, seeing that they have won 80% of their away games they've had so far. So it is the away side that is expected to rise to the occasion. And also, the last time both teams met saw Grazer defeating this side by 3-0. That was in November last year. So put all that together, we know that the away side, Grazer AK, is expected to rise to the occasion. It is away side to win. That's our verdict for that very game. And that takes us to the next game. The next game is in Danish first division, where we have Aalborg coming up against Frederica. Okay, Aalborg in the past 6 games have been able to achieve just 2 draws. They've also had 4 losses in the past 6 games, and the away side, Frederica, have won 3 out of 6. They've also had 3 losses out of 6 games. And also taking down to how both sides fared from home and away perspective, we could also see that the home side, Aalborg, have been able to achieve just 4 wins playing from home. They've also had 3 draws as well as 3 losses playing from home. And away side, Frederica, have been able to achieve 5 wins from away. They've also had 4 losses and 1 draw playing from away. Okay, when you put all that together, you see that these 2 teams are in a way balanced, a little bit balanced, and even though the away side is slightly better. But when you take there's something of worth noticing is the fact that the home side in all the past 10 home games have been able to achieve that 9 out of the past 10 home games have produced an over 2.5. Just one that was unable to produce on over 2.5. So it is 90% over 2.5 in all the 10 games that played from home so far. And the away side have seen a very similar outcome too, seeing that a lot of their away games have also produced a lot of goals. So in this very encounter, also taking a look at the head-to-head proceedings, we could see that the past 5 head-to-head meetings for both sides have also produced over 2.5 in all 5 pass head-to-head. So we expect to see a lot of goals in this one. 3 goals on the minimum, over 2.5. That's our verdict for this very encounter. And that takes us to the next game. And the next game is in Azerbaijan, where we have Karabakh, who will be up against Turan. Karabakh in the past 6 have been able to achieve 3 wins. They've also had 2 losses and 1 draw. And the away side, Turan, have been able to achieve 3 wins and 3 losses in the past 6 recent games I've had so far. And bringing it down to how they fared from home and away, we could see that the home side, Karabakh, in the past 10 home games have been able to achieve 5 wins. They've also had 3 draws as well as 2 losses in the past 10 home games I've had so far. Those losses coming up against their match against the Sporting Braga and Sabah. And the away side, on the other hand, have been able to achieve just two wins playing from away. They've also had 4 draws and as well as 4 losses playing from away. So it goes to show that the home side is quite better. We all know Karabakh is a very big team in Azerbaijan. They're doing very well, and they've also qualified for Champions League on several occasions. So we expect to see the home side, who is doing so well, who has also won the last meeting for both sides, by 3 goals to 1. So we expect to see Karabakh rising to the occasion in this very encounter. It is home side to win. That's our verdict for this very game. And that takes us to the very next game, which is in Malaysia, where we have Kelantan United coming up against Sabah. Okay, Kelantan United, on the other hand, in the past 6 games, have been able to achieve just 2 victories. They've also had, 4 losses in the past 6. And the away side, Sabah have had 3 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw in the past 6 games. And when you take it down to how both sides fared from home and away, you could see that the home side, Kelantan United have been able to achieve 2 wins in the past 10 home games. They've also had 1 draw, and they have lost 7 games out of 10 home matches they played so far. And the away side, Sabah, have been able to achieve 7 wins playing from away. They've also had 2 losses, and they've also have 2 losses and 1 draw playing from away. So it goes to show that they're doing better. Seeing that they've won 70% of their away matches, and they're also expected to rise to the occasion in this one. And also the last time both teams met, okay, in their last 3 head-to-head meetings that was provided, we'll see that Sabah have always been, very dominant, winning on all on both sides, both home and away. Okay, so we expect to see them win in this one outrightly. So it is the away side that is expected to win outrightly in this very game. Away win, that's our verdict. And that takes us to the last game of the day, which happened to be in Austria, where we have Shafu Hussein coming up against Baden. Okay, the home side have been able to manage just 1 win in the past 6 games. They've also had 2 draws and 3 losses. And the away side, Baden have lost the entire 6 games they've played so far. And bring it down to how both sides fared from home and away perspective. Consider that Shafu Hussein, the home side, have been able to manage 4 wins in the past 10 home games. They've also had 4 draws in the past 10 home games, and also 2 losses in the past 10 home games. So those losses coming against Vaduz and Sion in the league. And the away side, but then on the other hand, have lost 9 games out of the past 10 away games they've had so far, and they've only managed a draw, which came against Zamax, a 1-1 draw against Zamax. Okay, and it goes to show that Baden is actually very poor team in the league. So we expect to see the home side having the upper hand in this very one. Also noting the fact that the past 4 head-to-head meetings I've always seen Shafi Hussein winning on three occasions, and actually having a draw on 1 occasion when they played away against these guys. And last time both teams met, saw Shafi Hussein defeating this side from away by 1 goal to 0. So the home side, Shafi Hussein, is expected to rise to the occasion in this very one, seeing that they're the better side compared to when you compare both teams. So it is home win. That's our verdict for this very encounter, and that brings our predictions for you today on Betkraft to a conclusion. I wish you the very best of luck, and I hope your ticket goes green. Remember to play responsibly. Play with what you can afford to lose. Do not play with your entire fortune. It's only a football game. It can go either way. All right, that being said, tomorrow is another big day for us, and I hope to see you again on Betcraft tomorrow, and we'll be bringing up our predictions for you. But until then, keep winning.